Welcome, Reverend Jayne Coley. Today our talk is about how to receive the incredible benefits of being of service to others. And I want to start with a couple of quotes. We rise by lifting others, Robert Ingersoll. The heart that gives, gathers, tThe. Giving opens a way for receiving, Florence Scovel Shinn. So today, how to receive the incredible benefits from being of service to others. My grandmother was a very giving person, and she was like the rock in our family, and everyone went to her for advice, whether for a listening ear or just to soak up that giving, nurturing energy that was just part of her presence. And my mother modeled this same giving nature. For me, observing my mother and my grandmother, it showed me that this generosity model of how the benefits of giving, how I really saw with both of them, they were happier, less stressed, and there was this constant glow about them that allowed them to have more vitality. And it was as though by their sharing their time and their energy with others, they actually benefited. And in fact, in research, it shows that those who consistently help others, that they have less stress, that they have higher levels of mental health, and that they also feel more connected to spirit or to God, and they have a deeper sense of gratitude within themselves. You know, my mother went through a very tough time several years ago, and everyone came to support her and to help her. And I saw that how things can change in an instant. And I also witnessed that people want to help someone who is a giving person. And so I saw how it came right back to her. Now she's right back at it again. She's 80 years old. She looks so young. And just in my heart, it feels so good to say, wow, I tapped into somebody who is such a giving person. And I've been able to grow from that as well. And I can see that for myself, serving and carrying that forward in my own life. And I want to look like that when I'm 80 as well. And I realized that she's being fed inside when she gives, just like my grandmother was being fed inside. And it shows in her appearance, in her stress level, in her caring nature, how she bounced back in her health. It shows up. And I bet for many of you out there that there have been moments where you've shared what you're really great at, or you've helped another person when they've been in need, and you felt special inside. And I want to share these 3 incredible benefits of being of service to others. The first one is that giving makes you contagious. It's because helping others, that charitable giving, it has this profound rippling effect. You never know. Your single act of kindness, it could change the lives of another person in more ways than you could possibly fathom. In fact, Harvard published a finding that showed that one person, how they behave and they express generosity, that it inspires observers that they behave generously as well. And it might be toward totally different people or at a different time. And as a result, in fact, this research said that altruism could spread by 3 degrees. So that means from one person to person to person to person. And as a result of that, they wrote that each person in that network of the 3 times can influence dozens of other people and hundreds of other people, because the one act ripples out and then that ripples out to more. So you never really know who you're affecting, and neither does the person who's giving, but it has this, that they've proven it in studies, that there is this rippling effect. And giving has been linked with the release of oxytocin, which is a hormone that's also released with sex and with breastfeeding. And it induces these feelings of warmth and euphoria and a connection to others. That quote, "The heart that gives gathers," as tThe says. Number 2, being of service brings out the best in us. It really does. When we give to others, it activates these areas of our brain associated with pleasure, social connection, and with trust. So it opens up our brain. And altruistic behavior releases, like I said, these endorphins in the brain, which boosts our happiness for us as well as the people we help. It's a win-win situation. Studies have shown that people that are giving money, that it tends to make the people happier than spending on themselves by giving. Because generosity and charitable gift giving, it promotes longevity. I think of it as the fountain of youth. Like, why not? One of the most valuable things that we can share is ourselves. And one of the simplest expressions of love is sharing with others. Let me say that again. One of the simplest and the most valuable things that we can do is share ourselves. And one of the simplest expressions of love is sharing with others. My son, he did this service project recently for Boy Scouts, and he listened to this woman's life story, took her out for a walk, and what she shared was how she'd had this tough life, how her son went through it. But as a result of her sharing, when he came home, my son had this epiphany, this awakening. And what he got as a result of giving through his service work is, through this awakening, is he realized that his thoughts, his words, and his actions, that they really mattered. And for him, that made him realize he had a choice. And as I mentioned the quote earlier, we rise by lifting others. Point number 3, the incredible benefit from serving others is that you start influencing others. And this is beautiful, because when we see that serving others comes from this place of giving, we align with our spiritual nature. So we're coming from this higher part of us, and it's magical. I find that money even comes easier when I'm coming from this giving place, and it just makes everything easier. There are many ways that we take from our good. It might be being bitter, holding back. It could be staying in the background, not engaging. It could be just sharing a little of us rather than a lot. Maybe we give a little bit of money rather than fully tithing. Or all of these things, they keep us in this restricted mode. And we were meant to give. We were meant to share. We were meant to experience, to love, and to express our divine nature. Back in the day, I gave just a little at the church or the center where I was spiritually fed. I might give $10, and now I'm a full tipper. And what that means is I give 10% of everything that comes in. So for $100, I'd give $10. Now, even $10 could make a difference for like our center if you gave $10. We have 2,400 viewers and 51 different countries we serve. Your $10 could make a difference for this center. And what I realize is when I do the tithing and I do the 10% off the gross, everything flows easier for me, because that's where I'm financially fed, that's where I'm inspired, and I give back to that. And it's a consistency, because we tap into this law of giving and receiving. And we tap into this law of circulation when we give back to where we're serving others by sharing of our financial means, and they're sharing of their inspiration for us. And a new study suggests that by giving social support to others, that it may benefit the giver more than the receiver, that they're showing that on a neurological level, that the brain images are showing that there's pinpointed 3 specific brain benefits of giving social support to others. So as Ernest Holmes says, life is ever giving of itself. We must receive, utilize, and extend the gift. So how can we serve? There's so many ways. We could start by volunteering different goods that we don't need anymore, donating them to a center or a charitable organization. We could visit the elderly or the sick. We could serve in a homeless shelter. We could practice consistently tithing or giving, even if it's $10, but giving it where we are spiritually fed. Not just a charitable organization, but where we are spiritually fed each week. We can show up fully engaged in our life, not just dabbling in our life. And when we do that, what are the benefits of that giving? Well, I've mentioned, our brain is positively affected. Our stress levels go down. We get this hit of oxytocin. We look younger. We're more engaged. We're alive. This is our God-given life. It's a gift. So our 3 points are that why do we give? What are the benefits, the incredible benefits of giving? Well, one is that giving makes you contagious. Number 2, giving brings the best out in us. And number 3 is that we start to influence others by our giving. And as Florence Shovel-Shin said, giving opens the way for receiving. You want more receiving? Give more. So let's close by doing this affirmation together. So there's 2 of them. Just repeat after me. Today I express my giving nature, knowing I make a difference in the world. Today I express my giving nature, knowing I make a difference in the world. The second one, my giving opens a way for my receiving. My giving opens a way for my receiving. Thank you. I love you. Have a blessed day.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.